I love the waving. All righty. Well, it says on my other computer there that we're live, so we must be going. Hey, good morning, everybody. So happy to have you joining us this morning for our very first Voices and Views with a faith focus. And I want to introduce our lovely ladies that are here. I'm just so excited that they've decided to be part of this, and you're going to be so blessed just listening to them and hearing what they have to share. And today our topic is your faith in business. How do we incorporate our faith? Does it make a difference? How do you do it? What does it look like? But first, we want to hear from each one of our guests and let them introduce themselves. So Nancy White, would you be so kind as to start us off?
Oh, thank you so much, Linda. It is such a joy to be with you and these amazing other women. I am so thankful that I get to be here today. Yay, we're all thankful. We're back. So I'm Nancy White, and I'm the healthy sales chick, and I've been in health and wellness for 30 plus years. But anyways, I'm just so grateful to be able to be talking about this amazing topic today about faith and business, because we really can't separate it. But thank you, Delinda, for allowing me to be here and be a part.
Oh, and thank you for being here too. I can't wait to hear some of your comments as we get going. How about you, Miss Lynne? Would you follow up and introduce yourself? That would be awesome.
Hi, everybody. We're glad that you're here, as well as the wonderful women that I'm sitting here with in a bunch of different rooms in a bunch of different states. So I'm Lynne, and I am a neuroscience nerd. And what that means is that I study how the brain works, and then I create practical hacks so that people can do a better job of connecting faster. And I've got a couple of different tools that I use. One is called Persuasion GPS. So it's a system for getting to where you want to go faster. And another is the mind reader method, where you can quickly identify what somebody wants, needs, and is afraid of, so you can do a better job of connecting with that person. And just like Nancy, really happy to be here.
Great. Thanks, Lynne. And yeah, Lynne has her new book out. We're getting ready. I'm going to go to Chicago for her special celebration. So I'm excited about that. All right. How about you, Emmalou? Will you follow up?
I'm glad to do that, Delinda. When I met Delinda and Nancy and Cathy and Lynne, I was a family relationship coach. I'm currently serving a mission for my church, but as someone reminded me, I'm still in the business of life, and I love supporting families, and I love supporting Delinda because I absolutely love what she's doing for women.
Thank you. That's so sweet. And we are all just blessed. I mean, God brought us all together. Isn't that just so cool? I thank him a lot for that. All right, Miss Cathy. Thanks, Emmalou. And Cathy, will you follow up?
Absolutely. And thank you so much. I love being part of this family, and certainly the community of the Fun Fearless Female global community of Christian women. That's how we've all been able to connect. As many of you know, I have been full-time for 17 years now. I cannot believe how fast the time has gone, with a company called Enagic, the Kangen Water Company. This company literally has been around for 51 years, and we are in the business of water technology and ionization. And I love all the new things that are coming down the pike with this dynamic organization. I mean that with all my heart. I DBA my business, Miracles with Water, because Jesus Christ gets credit for every step of my success journey. And I also tell people when I do my chats and visits, Jesus has written 4 books. He just let me sign them. 2 of them are about networking, one for introverts, one for extroverts, and the other 2 are about grief and bereavement, what to say and what not to say when someone has died, and don't leave your family in a scavenger hunt. And it's part of my faith journey to be part of this community. And I really thank you for inviting me, Delinda.
Yes, of course. So it is going to be a fun morning as we move into our topic. And I'm probably just keep the rotation kind of like we are, but I'm going to try this. I'm going to do this just a little bit different, because I really want to be able to let the conversation just go where it naturally flows. So if one person's speaking and, they kind of finish and you feel led to share whatever, that would be great. Because I wanted to feel the goal, and my goal of this is to share with these women and then all of you who are watching as if we're at our kitchen table. Now, someday I told the girls, someday I want to actually, it might not be my kitchen table, but I want to share around the table. That's right. Have your coffee, have your water, and just join us as if we're having just a friendly chit chat. So let's get started. Oh, there you go, Cathy, and Lynne had hers. I love that. That makes it all fit. So as we start in about our faith in our business, as Cathy said, in so many cases, most of the cases, we can't really separate that out. But I know that in a lot of the people who may be listening are working in a corporate standpoint where they're not actually allowed to say the names. But is there a way that we can work our business, keep our faith strong, keep our integrity as we're working out there in the world or with corporations? So let's just start, Nancy, with you where we start in the beginning, and then let's see where it flows.
Absolutely, Delinda. And it always starts at home. It starts before you even start your business. And I think that's very important for women, especially, is that our foundation is that same secure. And we just, we all know what it takes for us, for our foundation to stay built up and in touch with the Lord, and keeping that little line really short. So when we start straying, sometimes the Lord just sort of tugs and we just go right back. But I think before we even go to work, before we start our business, we have to really have that intention. We need to set out the day, start it out with going, Lord, we want it your way and not our way. And it's for his glory and for our good, and everybody else's good. But whatever we're doing, whether we are business, for our personal business, doing business with others, it's, I think, your heart attitude, without having false intentions, without having any kind of ulterior motives. I think, we want to be Jesus and not have to say Jesus. It's those little deeds of kindness. It's giving other people grace and space. We have no idea what other people are going through. And in business, especially, everybody puts on, this new mask, this new face. This is what they're doing to do business. But just take it beyond that. Take it about the human being, that person that is there today. They're doing their business. And I think, giving some people that little bit of, again, grace and space. But you're going to come across those people, Delinda, that, they've had a bad day. They've had a bad year. They've had a lot of things going on in their life. And they can be rude. They can be ugly. They can be short. But you know what? What we have to do is we have to stay in that space and in that belief, when something happens, that we can be able to be like that little duck and just let it roll off our back. We don't have to carry it with us. So I really think, Delinda, when we're doing business and we are talking about our faith in business and what we're doing with other people, it's always starts with us first and foremost, making sure our heart and our mind is in that right space. So that's something, and it's not, nobody said it was going to be easy. The Lord just said he wasn't going to leave us. And yes, we get to go through all those tests and trials.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Now I see all three of the rest of you nodding your heads. Would you like to make a comment?
I want to add on to what you said about it starts at home. I think that our children, grandchildren, should have no doubt in their minds that we believe in Jesus and we strive to follow him. By our words and by our actions, we can instill this and teach this to those people who are nearest and dearest to us.
Absolutely. Lynne, I saw you shaking your head as well.
See, now I have to laugh because Delinda just teed me up because she knows what I'm going to say. And that is that, yes, when we are being our best selves, that's wonderful. but there are times when we're not being our best selves and somebody is really doing something that honks us off. So I've created something that Delinda knows I call the brown thought cloud. So I imagine myself as a cartoon character, and you know the thought bubbles that they have above their heads, that only they know what's going on, the rest of the characters can't hear. I call it the brown thought cloud because I fill it with all the nasty, sarcastic, snide things I would love to say to this person, but I know if I open my mouth, I'll get myself in trouble. So instead, I say them to me, and I call it brown because it's all snarky. And what ends up happening is the rest of the world sees me pause as I'm saying all these things to myself, and the rest of the world thinks I am being thoughtful and patient and paying attention to what they're saying. I am getting this negative energy out of my system. So I get to laugh at how amusing I am and then blow that energy away and then face them and say the things that need to be said without getting myself in trouble.
I love that. That's a great.
The brown
visual.
thought cloud.
That's great. How about you, Kath?
That's a great new hashtag, Lynn. I love that, the brown thought cloud. That is just awesome. No matter where I move my office, whether it is a different brick and mortar location or a different spot around my home, I always have this with me, and that is 1,000,000% always my constant companion. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. The first few times I was enlisted to speak, or in a lot of Delinda's in-person meetings, I'd like you to do the networking nugget. And before I had a complete panic attack, I thought, okay, I can't do this. 150 people. I remember at one of your Wow the World conferences in Las Vegas, Delinda, I was one of your sponsors. And of course, my brain is instantly going, I can't speak in front of all those incredible women. There's no possible way, coming from all different parts of the country. And then I hear this voice, excuse me? And it wasn't Delinda this time. It was actually Jesus. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. And that is with me at all times. Can you please this? I can't. Can you please that? I can't. The answer is I can. And hopefully that will be the same for everyone watching with us today. I can do all things, not just the teensy things that I decide, but all things. And he never lets us down.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And what would y'all say are some benefits that, we get a lot of benefits from it, but what are some of the benefits that our clients, our customers get by us living our faith in our business? So I'm thinking in particular, like how we treat, if we are treating people through the love of Christ, and that is our goal, to be more like him, right? So as we're out with our customers, we're only going to be showing things that really are value to them. We're not just out there to make a sale and we're going to be rich by the end of this thing, right? So that's like the not right attitude. So how do you think they benefit with us really living out our faith? Again, we don't have to even say it. A lot of times we are able to, and I love that I'm, everything I do, there's nothing that says I can't, and I probably would do it anyway. But in any case, how do you think they benefit? Anybody want to start?
I'll be glad to start again. And so
Okay.
please keep playing round robin. This is so much fun. And so I really think that our clients and our customers have a positive experience. And they're also, it's building that, again, relationship and that trust. And it may be there's times that we do things, share with them that have nothing to do with our business, but yet they could come to us and ask us a question or ask for a resource or whatever it is. I think they benefit because they now have a camaraderie, they have an ally, they have somebody that's on their side, and it's not just for what we have provided for them or what they're doing, but it goes beyond that, Delinda.
I can safely say that all of us here are in the business of serving others.
Mm-hmm.
And and to serve others, first you need to know who they are. And in order for them to tell you who they are, you need to be somebody they can trust. And the whole idea of coming at something from I am here, I have gifts, I have talents. It is my purpose to share those with the world and make this a better place. And so when that is your guiding light, people see it. They know that, if somebody says they have a problem, for all of us, I'm sure, and we don't serve that problem, we know somebody who does, and Nancy was alluding to that, then it's like our joy to actually connect somebody who can help solve this problem that we can't do. And whenever I do that, people are just, well, thank you. They're so amazed that I would go out of my way to recommend something that has nothing to do with me. And I tell people, it's just as much fun to get a gig for somebody else as it is to get for me. And and it's, you send blessings out in the world and they come back.
Love that. Love that.
I'm thinking of all the many times when I have been blessed because of what someone else said and did. So we have an opportunity to be his hands, his voice, when we emulate him and treat others as he would, then they receive that blessing through us of feeling his love.
I always think in terms of all of the culmination of what everyone has said here, as far as when Lynne mentioned resources, look at the screen. I mean, seriously, look at the screen. We have so much to offer from a standpoint of, I bet anyone could ask just about any question. I need a recommendation or a referral to, I can't imagine we all together would not know someone that could help them. And I think that's many times what we bring to the table, especially with years of expertise, that in itself affords a different level of help and servanthood, I feel. And the fellowship that we get to have here and then spread that out to other people, I think it just permeates, and I really, really do. And I don't know if any of you have children or grandchildren, but they don't, for me, they don't usually listen necessarily to what you say, but they definitely watch what you do. And it's a cool thing to be able to see that people aren't maybe listening to these words, blah, 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 but they are definitely going, huh, maybe if she can do that, so can I. And I love the example piece that we get to share with others. And that's why I say I love this community right here and what it's going to do for other people. And thank you again to Linda. I mean that with all my heart.
Thank you. Well, and I think you're all really hit that importance of living it out. We can't put our faith on the shelf. Go to church on Sunday or whatever other days you go, and then, okay, that's my church obligation. Now I'm going to go to work, do my life and take care of the kids and leave that on the shelf, because when you are a true believer, when you want to live that way, it just goes into everything. I'm going to tell you a little story. Just this week, I'm going to share it with the Bible study group tonight. So Cathy, you're hearing it ahead. But, I'm trying to really pay attention of where God's working. When you just can see those little things like, oh, Lord, thank you for that front row parking space, or whatever else might be going on. So I picked up my little grandson, who's not quite, almost 5. He's in late 4 somewhere. And he said, so we were driving, obviously I'm in the front seat, and I see this big yellow fire truck coming at us. And I said, oh, Kelly, because he loves fire trucks. And right now he says he's going to be a fireman. You all know how that is. We'll see in the future. But it's coming down. I said, oh, Kelly, look, here comes a big yellow fire truck. And oh my gosh, here comes there's an ambulance right behind it. I said, that means somebody's hurt. And I said, oh, Jesus, be with them as the fire trucks, as they get there, and just help them. And he said to me, he said, well, that's because Jesus is in their heart. And I said, yes, that's right. And he says, but when you die, this is the one that got me. When you die, I said, yes, his spirit's in our heart. And he says, when we die, his spirit leaves. And I said, wow, what's interesting about that is when the spirit leaves, he takes you with him. And he said, oh, well, that's kind of cool. So I just, one of those unexpected conversations in the car. And I just thought how it's just around us, and trying to, that part of living our faith of taking advantage of those opportunities that happen, and being open to those divine detours is what I'm calling them now. It's like, okay, I have a little detour here. Wasn't what I was expecting. So just that living our faith, we never know where it's going to take us, and being open to where God moves us from that.
I think I'm going to interview Kelly for my next book.
And do you know what it is already?
I do know what it is. Absolutely. I've got the title and the domain ready to go. Yes.
Oh, you do. Well, I don't have
I just need to get the download. I'm waiting patiently.
Oh, I know. Well, mine is going to be Divine Detours, and it has a little tag after it. Finally, Cathy, after 5 years, I'm going to do it because he's now said so.
Wait a minute. You glossed over that a little too quickly.
Oh.
Divine Detours by Delinda.
Well, it has a little tag under Divine Detours, Embracing Life's Interruptions is what that is.
Absolutely.
Because
I love the D's.
So I'm going to barge in here because part of what you're talking about, it's frankly, it's easy to have faith on the good days, but on the bad days, that's harder for me. And so the lesson that I learn frequently in my business about faith is that, we're all entrepreneurs, which means that things don't come in regularly for this group. We have to go out and find them. And there are days when stuff isn't showing up for me. And what I've learned is the faith part. Although I don't click there as quickly as I wish I did. But when I get there, it is this, which is to ask myself, what has space been cleared for me to do? If I'm not busy doing client work today, what has the space been cleared for me to do? I have faith that there is something for me. And it may not be the thing that I think it should be. But so what has space been cleared for me to do? Rather than sinking into worry or anger or sadness, to have that belief that, that God's love is a hammock under me. I may just feel like I'm swinging in the wind, but I've got something that's holding me up. And what I need to do is inquire to find out what has the space been cleared for me to do. And that's the key role that faith plays in my business.
I love that hammock visual.
Oh my gosh, Lynn.
That is a great visual.
I know. I'm going to add that because I'll always hear that little, when I go through those times, I'll hear that little voice go, do you trust me? And I'm sitting there, but I'm going to add that because usually when I get up, I'm going, yay, Lord, I'm back. What do I get to do today? Because you and I, especially you, anytime we ask a question, the brain's always going to answer it, whether we verbally answer it or not. But I love what you said. Well, if this is not happening the way I thought it was going to be, then what is this space need to be filled with today, Lord? So that is awesome.
Yeah, that is, Lynn. Emmalou, I see you shaking your head as well. Comment?
I love these beautiful comments. They all are expressing this gift of faith and how it enhances not only our lives, but everyone we come in contact with.
For sure.
Everyone we interact with benefits. And I feel like this just lifts society overall. It's exciting.
Yeah, it really is. And it's that whole ripple effect that, people talk about all the time. Just as we make just a little bit of difference, God just keeps it going out there. And we don't know whose lives are being touched by the fact that we made this one little thing that may seem so inconsequential. That's a big word. But we think it doesn't matter sometimes, but yet it does. And I have to keep reminding myself that we are not in charge in the first place, but we're not in charge of the results. We're only in charge of being obedient to doing those things that the Lord lays out for us, what he tells us to do or not to do. Either way, we're just supposed to be in relationship and be obedient, and then let him take care of it, which takes a lot of pressure off, actually.
I think my
And-
daily prayer, most of us start our mornings, good morning, Lord, just like Nancy said, what are we going to do today? Oh my gosh. And so for me, my daily prayer is put me in the path of someone who needs me. And that has completely flipped my business from a standpoint of, I've got to sell 10 machines today or 20 machines by noon or whatever my goals or things are in my human brain. And the Lord's going, how's that working out for you, Catherine? And I'm like, oh yeah, well, okay. So what are we going to do today, Lord? Yes. And then put me in the path of someone who needs me. And he has never let me down. And I just need to keep listening. And so 2 ears, 1 mouth, wonder why that is designed like that.
For sure.
I want to comment, Cathy, that you have provided so many people with so much useful information. Excuse me, technology, health, other things, and Nancy as well, and all of you have. And that's just come as result of your faith and your willingness to serve.
Thank you.
And don't you love it how the Lord brings us together, us as we're here today, but also as we're each in our different groups, whether it's a networking group or your team that you work with, and that difference that just by, it's not really just by, but by living our faith every day and keeping, whatever it is, if we have those thoughts, if we're having a bad day, and let's face it, we all have them, right? Don't we all have kind of bad off days? This is like the weirdest thing. One of my big triggers, and I think it is knowing, probably Lynn, I'm sure that from the brain standpoint, you could tell us about that. But we all have triggers. There's certain things. So certain things don't bother me at all that bother other people, whatever. But one of my biggest triggers is my dog barking at the window. She drives me insane. And I mean, really, I don't think that I'm really a mean person, but sometimes when she gets to barking, it brings out this meanness in me. Like, y'all are seeing the real me. What can I say? So I have to really grab myself, and I hadn't thought of having the round bubble up here, but we have to learn what our triggers are, and then know what are we going to do when we feel that trigger happening. Another one that I have.
So, Delinda, I'm here to
Yes.
tell you, squirt bottle.
She tries to lick the water. I've tried that.
Well, you squirt her in the face to get her attention, and you say quiet. It works for most dogs.
Oh, well, I will try it again. I did try it when she was a puppy, but I haven't tried it for a long time.
Make sure it's on direct and not missed, and just one direct. And I promise, I agree with Lynn, it works. And I have fur grand darlings to prove it.
Oh, gotcha. So,
See, resources, you're surrounded.
I love it. Well, I think Cathy said, whatever you need is probably right here in this room. We know how to fix it, right? Or we know how to guide you to somebody who can fix it. So, oh, well, we're at the top of the hour. I knew it would go fast. So let's just go around one more time, and one last, whatever, piece of advice or thought that you would like to share with our listeners, our audience today. So back to you, Nancy.
Oh, thank you so much, Linda. This has been absolutely fun and amazing. And yes, anything that we can share that can help somebody else to not have to not suffer through life, but agonize through life. But something I'd love to share with people too is, when things happen, we just ask ourselves those questions. Is this something I have control over? And that's yes or no. And if it's no, then it's none of your business. If it's yes and we need help, then you reach out if you need to have some guidance and some help. But you learn how to BNR, bless and release. And that's one of those things that, if you don't have that authority or that responsibility for something, learn how to let go of it and not pick it back up.
Excellent. That's the key, to not pick it back up. Lynn.
Well, because I am a neuroscience nerd, my final thought is it's scientifically proven moods are contagious. So you can walk into your workspace for the day and you could be feeling quite fine. And somebody else drags her butt in and she's, scowling and mumbling and, focusing on the negative. You will catch that person's mood if you are not paying attention, and it will drag you down. But just as moods are contagious, so thoughts are our choice. So when you encounter that and you can feel your energy slipping, make a choice about, no, I'm not going to let this happen to me. Here's what I want. It goes back to that morning prayer. And, and what ends up happening is something that's magical. And that is that person's negative mood is no longer contagious for you. And you've increased the chances that your positive mood will be contagious for them.
Love that. Thank you. Emmalou.
I feel I have been greatly blessed by being here and just gathering these golden nuggets of identifying your triggers, managing those negative thoughts, and focusing on the work, not the results. And beginning that day with that morning prayer, your intentions, turning it over to Jesus, and doing the best you can. And it also warms my heart thinking of all the people I can uplift throughout my day by doing this.
Beautiful. Thank you. Cathy.
One of the things I share is I only teach the free stuff, which means never, 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 never give up. And there are so many easy, free things that you can do to promote your business if that is your challenge. And where do you go for networking? Lots of free places to go. How do I promote my book or my business or my something? Lots of cool things to do. How do you do a podcast? Push a button. I promise it's that easy. I pushed a button. And how do you meet new people? Posting parties. I do those every single Monday. There's so many, so many, so many ways to promote your business. And again, I only teach the free stuff, and it works so beautifully to have that light bulb come on. Delinda, you've done that with your coaching practices. When that light bulb comes on, it's like, oh my gosh, I got it. I love, love, love the light bulb. So I feel if people keep in mind, Jesus is driving your bus, and never give up. He's got a purpose and a plan. We're here today. Ta-da.
Yeah.
What's the purpose or the plan? And what am I supposed to learn from this lesson? That's always the biggie for me.
Love that. Well, ladies, thank you again for being here. Those of you who are watching right now live, thank you for being here. And if you're watching later on today or tomorrow, the next day, whatever that is, thank you for taking that time, because you know what? Your time is the most valuable thing that you have, and that you would choose to be with us is such a great, great honor. As we close, I want to just remind you that you are chosen. God chose you for something special, for his glory. Don't doubt it. Just live that and know that, you were chosen. Now it's your choice what you're going to do with it. All right, everybody, go out, make it a fabulous week, because we love you. See you next time. See you next Tuesday. Bye
Thank
now.
you.
Everybody wave.